Hey there, today is Sunday, February 26th, and this is our creative week. So how you been? How's your creativity level been? Have you been struggling? Have you been thriving? I have been somewhere in the middle. Yeah, February's still trying to drag me down, but that's okay. It's all right. I'll make it through. Just like, somebody said, or I guess I've heard a few people now say it around the internet that you have survived all of the stuff that's been thrown at you. You have, so we just keep on doing that, and we find our moments of creativity when we can. So, or we make them. So let's see. Let's get into the art journal for this week. I'm still doing the 28 February flowers. That's almost wrapped up. I don't know what I'm doing for March yet. I've got a couple of ideas, but nothing's like really solidified. So I'll let you know when I know. So these first two prompts were mud and rabbit. So for mud, I had like after a rainstorm, that like the flowers get blown around, and you just get maybe it's like you get some muddy flowers. So that's what that was. And then rabbit, well, yeah. So we got a little rabbit kind of looking interesting at some thistles. At least that's what I remember thistles to look like. I could be wrong. The next prompt was winter, and then that was followed up by tie dye. So, so for winter, I really got to get these directions correct. I thought of crocus. That's literally like the only winter flower I could think of immediately, and I really love this one. The composition could have been a little bit more centered, and there could have been other things, but I was using my Koh-i-Noor woodless colored pencils, and I really like the way that how deep I got the colors and how smooth I got the colors and how blended. Same thing on the tie-dye page. I'm not really a big tie-dye aficionado, but tie-dye makes me think of like, the 70s and stuff like that, and like the peace movement. And so for the flower, I drew a yellow daisy, threaded through a peace symbol, and then with tie-dye in the background. And I think the tie-dye kind of came out pretty good for illustration wise, so I'm not upset about that. And then the last one was a combination prompt, jubilant and abundant. And don't ask me why. I mean, I guess it's just the word jubilant kind of made me think like it's not a word we regularly use these days. So it kind of had me thinking throwback. And abundant, I just thought of like the gathering baskets and stuff, and like overflowing with flowers. And then it became this sort of Regency-ish, you know, thing. I don't know. You just kind of go where, it's a sketchbook, it's an art journal. It's just to it's just to show you what you've done. And I haven't done today's prompt. Actually, I might be a day or two behind again. Oh gosh. Where am I? My list is back here. Oh, yes. Dahlia. Dahlia and plaid. So, um, yeah, yesterday's was Dahlia. I haven't gotten to that one yet. Oops. And yesterday just got away from me. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then today's prompt is plaid. So I'll get those taken care of today. Let's see. So, other artwork. I got two more paintings done for the 50 States project. First was Connecticut. So, got the different symbols here. I oh yeah, I want to make sure you guys get to see the all the little creatures. I'm really loving how well the sperm whale turned out, and the robin, um, even like the old Polaroid that's up here because it was invented in Connecticut. I'm just like, this is kind of cool. And then the praying mantis was fun to do, and I mean, just everything about this one was fun. I did worry that it looked a little bare. It looks like it's got a lot more like of the background, just the blue kind of filling in, and I was like, gosh, did I shortchange the state? So I went back and I checked, and even though I did not do it on purpose, all but one of the previous states, which granted this is state number 5, so it's not like I'd done a whole bunch, but all but one had 9 symbols, state symbols on it. The other one had a 10th one. It was a little tiny ladybug. So it was like, okay, this has 9 on it, so it's just okay. And the same thing happened, sort of, kind of, with Massachusetts, which is state number 6. I am officially past the 10% mark with the 5th state, but since there's a couple more paintings that I'll end up doing, yeah, there's a little bit more to it. But yeah, so this is the 6th state. This is Connecticut, or no, I'm sorry, Massachusetts. The previous one was Connecticut. And again, it looked like I had a lot of background space to fill, and I'm like, but I have everything. I think it's just I'm somehow I'm like been shrinking, either, I don't know. When I lay out my my pages, I have a template. And so I have this like 3 by 5 box basically that can be oriented, horizontal or vertical. And that's where I place the state to kind of keep it in the same position, more or less, um, consistent. And it also means that the states are consistent sizes in my head. Or that was in my head, that was the idea, is that I was going to keep everything kind of, it's like they were going to stay in the angle they are on the map. I wasn't making them true up to any particular line. Um, but clearly, and these, it's like Connecticut looks a lot bigger than Massachusetts does, state-wise, because that's just the way their borders are. And so I was trying to keep them in this. So I need to kind of keep that in mind. And for Massachusetts in particular, I think I just made the symbols smaller. And I don't want to have to go back and repaint this one. I probably will wait until the end and make a decision, but I'm going to be a little bit more conscientious as I go forward, um, to make sure that I'm filling the page adequately, because there's nothing wrong with it, but it could be better. It could be better. And so, yeah, if I were to go back and redo any, which y'all know me, you know that that's not something I regularly do, is go back and redo work. Because I want to keep moving forward, but I also want I want it to be good. I want it to be correct. So, yeah, there's that whole thing. But let me just tell you, I am really proud of this painting up here of the cod. I am like strangely proud of the cod. I don't know why. I just am. Actually, I really like the tree too. This is an American elm. I love the little chickadee. I mean, yeah, I mean, and then yeah, these crates are for tea. They'll have tea written on them. For the Boston Tea Party. It's like I didn't want to have to like draw people and ships and stuff. So yeah, that's what we did. That's where we went with that. So yeah, I got another 2 done this week, which was good. That's my goal, is to make sure I'm getting at least 2 done a week. It'd be great if I could step it up to 3, but that depends on factors. So that's oh. Yes. Fiber work progress. I got a few lines done on, or a few lines, a few rows, a couple rows really, done on this shawl project. And that was good and bad, because for whatever reason, Friday night when I was working on it, I aggravated my right wrist. It's not good thing I don't use my right hand for everything. Uh, so yeah, and it's not carpal tunnel. It's like the think when it's on the outside, it's called the ulnar nerve. But anyway. And then so I just took it out of the brace this morning to kind of give my skin a chance to breathe and stuff. But it is feeling a little bit better. I'm not going to go straight back into my crochet project, but it is feeling a little bit better. Um, I kind of had to do some unplanned R&R yesterday just to let it rest. But I did finish that painting last night as well. I was like, okay, I think I can do this safely. But in the process, somehow yesterday, I think I picked up my phone strange with my left hand, and I felt something pop. Oh, and so it's just I like sprained something down in here, and like certain pressure point, like doing certain movements with the fingertips or whatever. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, that was fabulous. So I'm just kind of walking wounded right now. But I'm still upright. That's what we're going with. It happens. If you've been watching for a while, you remember I don't think it was last year, it might have been, but I think it was probably the year before that I was all gung ho to work on some stuff, and then I royally screwed up my wrist. Or my hand. And yeah, that that set me back quite a bit. The other news, drum roll please. Book 4 in my Cozy Mystery series is with the beta readers. Yay! I expect both sets of feedback, or the feedback that it should be coming this week. Different days. One of them was like a 1 week, one was like a 10-day turnaround. And so, yeah, I'm getting that finally done. Like, I pushed myself. I'm like, I am going to get this done. Getting that done was a huge weight lifted because I felt like it was kind of hanging over my head and keeping me from progressing with some other stuff. You know how that can do. It's like, yeah, that has nothing to do with XYZ, but XYZ is also still part of me. And so, oh, yeah. Um, and I've also been doing some like online trainings and stuff, just kind of, continuing education. Just because I'm an artist doesn't mean that there aren't things that I still need to learn. And it's not necessarily art techniques, although I certainly could stand to brush up on some of those. No, it's industry and business stuff. And so yeah, I've been keeping up with that. And so I feel like I am going in the right direction again. There was a hiccup. This month has not been kind mental health wise. But I made it through. We have made it through all of our worst days to date. And my intention is to keep on doing that. So and then Todd, again, I don't have a picture. I need to do a picture, little quick film. Maybe once he gets the wood filler painted over. Um, the trim, bottom and top, is up in the bathroom, in the downstairs bathroom, and yeah, it's looking nearly finished. The last thing to do, of course, is the bathtub, and that's going to take a little bit of work. But we've talked about that. We've talked about the type of the shower curtain setup, the rod that we're going to use in there, because again, it's a clawfoot tub, so it's not like you just use a suspension pole and call it a day. And yeah, so yeah, that's what we're doing. But we're rocking and rolling along. Todd starts a new job tomorrow, Monday. And he's excited for that. And bless his heart, he is ready to get back into an office. The thought of going back into an office situation kind of fills me with absolute dread. So I'm doing my best to not have to resort to that. So yeah, this year, especially this first half of the year, I think is really crucial for me to kind of really step up and make some stuff happen. So onward and upward, my friends. And the light is, oh, this is why I don't normally film at this time of day. Thank you so much for checking in another week, and I wish you a wonderfully creative week ahead. We are almost into March, which, wow, the year flies by as per usual. Make time for your creative exploits, your creative endeavors. Feed that creative well, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye.